The member for Chisholm.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Immigration and Border Protection. Will the Minister update the House on steps the government has taken to remove dangerous criminal gang members from Australian society? What are the consequences of not taking action?
The Minister for Immigration and Border Protection.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. I thank the honourable member for her question. Now, we have cancelled a record number of visas, including bikies, many of whom are involved on building sites working for the CFMEU, and they're the hired muscle. Now, everyone, of course, has a story of a CFMEU union thug turning up on a building site running riot, but I heard an amazing story the other day, Mr Speaker. There was a huge unit construction site in the city, and the motorbike screeches to a halt outside the gates. The rioter, wearing his CFMEU emblazoned jacket with the Rebels bikie tattooed across his forehead, hops off and he walks toward the lady on the stop-and-go sign at the opening of the building site, the entry of the building site. She's a bit nervous, naturally enough, but tries to make him out. She left home in a rush that morning and couldn't find her contact lenses. Julia, the bikie, says. She feels instant relief. It's Bill the bikie. Julia's a part pensioner now. She trusted her friend Bikie Bill to find her this job after unexpectedly losing her last gig. It's 2 days a week, 150 grand a year, not a bad deal. But the downside is that her CFMEU dues are $149,000 a year, which makes it a bit tight, but it helps to support her stay-at-home hubby. Now, you're doing a great job here, Julia, says Bill sincerely. She feels secure because her friend, Bikie Bill, has her back. But Bikie Bill barges forward and he sees the target, the foreman. His target is the foreman. It's Kevin the carpenter. Now, or as Kevin humbly says, carpenter by trade, but future global leader by nature. Anyway, Kevin's talking to a group of on-site workers, the cleaners. He's talking in Chinese, which is strange because none of the workers are Chinese in that group. Now, Bikie Bill knows the group well because he did the deal for the cleaners' EBA. 5 cents an hour he got for them. But it makes things a bit tight for their families, but the cleaners are content because they know that the balance of their $100 an hour that in the pay deal that was done for them will go to the CFMEU Professional Development Fund, which has millions and growing, and that the US Teamsters training program would be properly funded to educate the new generation of CFMEU leadership in extortion and hand-to-hand combat. Now, Mr Speaker, the moral of this story is that Julia can never trust.
The Minister will resume his seat. The Deputy Prime Minister will cease interjecting. The member for Grayndler on a point of order.
Yes, Mr Speaker, on weirdness.
The member for Grayndler will resume his seat. Member for Grayndler will resume his seat. Member for Grayndler will resume his seat. Members on my left. The Minister has the call.
Mr Speaker, Julia couldn't trust Bikie Bill. Kevin couldn't trust Bikie Bill. The workers can't trust Bikie Bill. And let me tell you, the Australian people do not trust this leader of the opposition.
The Minister will resume his seat. The Minister will resume his seat. The member for Moreton will resume his seat. Members on my left will cease interjecting or they'll be leaving the House rapidly. I'll say one thing for the Minister's answer. He managed to be inventive up until that last moment, and that's why I've asked him to resume his seat. The member for Sydney has the call.